Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a good one. I'm so excited to have my guest, Jessica Van Liew, on this episode. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I specifically asked her if she would play some music because she plays the ukulele, and so she is
Yeah.
going to start off the show playing Riptide, and then we're going to talk about maybe her trips to Scotland and maybe some other places, and we'll just kind of chat, and then at the end she'll play some more music, and then the show will be over. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put you on widescreen, and then I'll let you know when we're ready to go. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, Jessica. We are ready when you are. So go ahead and go for it.
All right. So yeah, this is Riptide by Vance Joy. I was scared of dentists in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magicians insisting in their dreams. Oh, they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job, head to New York City. This cowboy is running from himself. He's been living on the highest shelf. Oh, they come unstuck. Lady, burning down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just gotta know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. The closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
Let's
You
go.
dancing?
I was excited. That was so good. Oh my goodness, that was
Okay.
great.
I don't put my headphones in.
So how'd you learn how to play?
Um, I I just kind of got a ukulele. It's a weird story, but I don't know, I just started looking up like YouTube videos and things online, and really, I mean, once you figure out there's like 5 chords that are in every song, so once you figure those out, it's pretty easy to figure out some new songs. So I just started messing around with it, and here I am, still learning a lot.
Gotcha. Do you play any other instruments?
So I have a guitar and a keyboard, but those are very rough. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn
Yeah.
how to play those, but
Yeah.
not very,
How long
not
have
very well
how
so
long have
far.
you been playing for?
I've had my ukulele for 4 years now. Um, and then my guitar and my keyboard are more recent within this past year or so.
Gotcha.
Um,
That's cool. Have you been singing forever, or has that like how's that?
no, so I used to hate singing. All of my friends are very musically talented. And in school and stuff, they were all in choir, and I stuck with band. So I guess I can play the saxophone too. But
Nah, that's so funny.
I went the band route because I didn't think I could sing very well, and so they always try to convince me like, no, like you have a good voice, just go for it. Like, what are you afraid of? Just do it. Who cares what people think? So,
That's crazy.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah, the past couple years I've started singing more.
yeah. Me personally, I went the choir route, and
Mm-hmm.
I never made it into like the most advanced level of choir, but I love doing it. I wasn't like the greatest, and I always wish I would have went the band route because I had never played an instrument. I've always wanted to. There was one time, my most glorious time ever picking up an instrument was, oh my gosh,
Oh
I
gosh.
I was down in my friend's basement. I
Mm-hmm.
picked up his guitar. I randomly put my fingers on it, and I strummed it. And my friend was playing video games whenever I was messing around with it. I just strummed it once, and no joke, like it sounded really good. It sounded so good. He stopped playing his video games and turned around. And he's like, "Wait, did you just do that?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so." He's like, "That was really good." I was like, Okay, well, yeah." And then I tried it again, and I didn't even move my hands, and it didn't work.
Oh no. I was
Yeah.
gonna say you're like a prodigy, but
Yeah. Yeah. Good
one
night.
time thing.
No, for me, I think the technology side of things is like that's what's best for me. That's why
Mm-hmm.
like right now, if I were to explain to you all the stuff that I'm doing just to set this up right now, it's ridiculous. Like I got
Yeah.
this microphone, this audio board, it's running into my laptop. I have my camera that's up here. I have like a soft like a studio software. I have Skype going, and it's like, oh my gosh. I was panicking because I didn't think that I was going to be able to get this running by the time we started our podcast.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's working.
Yeah. I hopped out of the shower probably 12:15, got ready, and then I trying to figure out some stuff, and I didn't know if it was going to work. And because it's a really jerry rig way of throwing this together, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it works. So, but
Yeah,
how's,
we're doing it.
yeah. But how's life been with like kind of like quarantine and stuff like that? Like, are you able to work from home or like what's happening?
Life has been interesting. So while I currently live back home with my parents after I graduated, moved back home. So I've been living here. I got put on work from home 2 weeks ago, but then I actually got let go because of all the craziness
Oh,
business
are
wise.
you serious?
Um,
I'm so
but I mean,
sorry. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have brought
that's
that up if.
fine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It's happening to a lot of people right now. I wasn't
Yeah.
surprised because I was like the newest hire,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
still kind of like in an intern type role. So, um, yeah, and I wasn't. I mean, I was like obviously I was sad, like I lost my job, but it wasn't
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
devastating. And thankfully, I am living at home, so I don't have like bills and stuff to pay. But
Oh,
I
for
did
sure.
get a new job, so I'll be starting that next week. Um,
Hey, hey!
so
Congratulations!
I was like, oh my gosh. So
I was about to say
I
you
just took
seem in
like
really
a
good
2 week
spirits for losing your
vacation.
job.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
all my friends and my boyfriend, everyone was trying to keep me motivated, and they're like, Jessica, it wasn't your dream job anyway. Like it was, I loved it, and it was like a
Yeah.
great starting out job, and I learned a lot from it. But
What
it wasn't
what
my dream
what were
job, so
you
I wasn't.
doing again there?
So I worked at a remodeling company, a
Mm,
residential
okay.
remodeling
Yeah.
company. So I was a designer, so kitchens and bathrooms and
Gotcha.
all that kind of
So
updating stuff.
gotcha. So what did you want to do originally? Like what was like or what is your ultimate like this is what I want to do?
That's a good question. Uh, so yeah, I went to school for interior design at Indiana State. And so I've always just loved that world.
Mhm.
Um, so right now I'm just kind of up in the air trying to figure out what that could look for
Yeah.
me in the future. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to stay more just on the design side behind the computer
Mhm.
or if I want to get more into like the construction and project management kind of side and do more of like the field work and actually being out on the site. So I'm doing some research and looking some things up, and
Yeah.
quarantine's actually a really good time to do that. So
I
got nothing else to do.
Yeah, I kid you not. When it's come to the podcast, like I don't want to say this, but this has been like an excellent opportunity for me to record podcast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, all the time.
yeah, I think I put 3 out in a week, and I don't think I've ever done that, and so
It's a lot.
yeah. Well, it's just everyone has time off right now, so it's
Yeah.
been easy to do. I mean, that's so crazy. Oh my gosh. So what's this new job, if you don't mind speaking about it?
Well, so I'm working, it's not related to anything with my major. I'm working at CVS. I'm
That's
a
fine.
manager there.
Hey, at least you're a manager though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
So that was kind of cool. I didn't apply for that position. I just wanted to be like a cashier or
Oh,
something. They're
okay.
like, hey, well, we'll go ahead and promote you if you want. And I was like, you don't know me,
I
but
haven't
okay.
even been there for a day. That's
I've never
so
even
funny.
met you, but okay. So no, I'm kind of excited to get back to like a customer service job.
Mm-hmm.
I know most people are probably like, why would you ever want to go back to customer
Yeah.
service? But I mean, those are like the few places that are actually open and probably hiring right now. And
Yeah. I mean,
in a way, I'm kind of thankful I can give back and help out and get people their other prescriptions and pills
sure.
that they need and
For
other
sure.
necessities that they need during this time. So
Yeah. Are you gonna be starting it real soon?
yeah, so I should be starting like this coming week. Got all my paperwork and everything
Nice.
filled out the past couple days. So.
I feel. Do you think they're like kind of expediting the process because you think they need people, or?
Yeah. They were even asking me like if I knew anyone else in this
Wow.
area who wanted a job to send them
Wow.
that way. So they need help.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations on the job. That's super cool. But
Thanks.
that's a cool update.
Happened fast.
Oh, for sure. So, do you want to kind of talk about your trip that you took to Scotland? I keep wanting to say Britain, but I know it's Scotland.
I mean, they're close. But yeah, so what was that? That was summer of 2018. I went to Scotland. It was for a study abroad trip with Indiana State. With my major, there's a group of, I don't know, 10 of us, I think, that went. So we actually started off in Manchester and did some exploring there for about a week or so. And then.
Oh, so you went to Manchester, England, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Did you get to go to any of the football games or the soccer matches while you were there?
No, I did not.
Are you interested in sports or anything like soccer like that?
Soccer probably not as much. I would say that's like the sport that I've watched the least of.
I mean,
I
I'd
do
say the
enjoy
same.
sports, but
Did you play any sports?
I played volleyball.
I was actually gonna say volleyball, but I didn't want to stereotype you.
Yeah. I know I'm 6 feet tall. I played volleyball.
Sure.
I actually am side job. I'm a volleyball coach too.
Hey, hey!
But
I'm basically
all
a
of that
cheerleader
stuff
over
kinda
here.
got canceled.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that's cool.
So
Will you still be able to do that like when that time comes around, or like how's that working out?
yeah, the end of our season was scheduled like the end of May was one of our last tournaments. So we probably won't be able to go back for this season, but they have summer camps and
Gotcha.
all sorts of things. So hopefully I'll be able to help out with some of those now. But as far as this season, I think it's kind of over. We've missed
Wow.
about a month of practice now, and
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. We're trying to talk about your Scotland trip, and it's like we go back to quarantine because it's just like it's everywhere.
yeah. Oh, it's like all you can think about, and it's kind of annoying that I don't know. I mean, it is a really big issue, and obviously it's a really big deal, but it's kind of annoying that that's all that we hear about the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I saw a really great tweet, and it said, "I don't even remember what we talked about before this."
Yeah.
And
what did we do?
yeah, and that was like a couple weeks ago when it wasn't as crazy as it is now, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
but anyway, back to Manchester. How long were you there in Manchester?
So yeah, I was in Manchester for about a week and a half, and then over in Scotland for about a week and a half. So a 3-week trip total. Um,
That's cool. Did you
yeah.
see like a bunch of castles or anything like that?
Yes. So the whole kind of, I guess, reason for our trip, since it was study abroad and I was in an interior design architecture major, was to go on tours and basically just look at buildings the whole entire time, which is cool. I mean, I enjoyed
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
yeah, we saw a lot of really cool things. And then we took a day trip over to Wales and got to climb a castle, like an
Wait, you
old
climbed it?
ruins. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
it was like falling apart. So you have to, it was a little bit of a hike up all those like stone steps and craziness, but
yeah, the
it's
only
cool.
castle I've ever been to was in was Blarney Castle in Cork, Ireland. And
Okay.
if you're familiar, have you ever heard of the Blarney Stone?
No.
Well, everyone goes to this castle because it's very popular. The Blarney Stone is this stone that you have to lay on your back, and you like have these two rails that you're holding onto, and you're lowered down, and you got to kiss the bottom of the Blarney Stone. And there's like a little cage under you and stuff like that, and you kiss the Blarney Stone, and you get the gift of gab, and the gift of gab is just like the gift of like talking or saying a bunch of stuff or whatever it is. I don't know the technical term it is, but wow,
Interesting.
you know, now that I think about that, I wonder if if this is gonna affect like people kissing the Blarney Stone because you just line up, you
Yeah.
go, you kiss it, and then boom, you're out. Like
They're
that's
gonna have to like
crazy.
sanitize it after everybody.
Oh my gosh, no joke. That the Blarney Stone, at least as of now, it is since so many people have kissed it, it is very very soft and it's very smooth.
Interesting.
Because I think
How
people
that
have
works.
yeah it's been I think people have been kissing this for at least hundreds of years, if not like 1,000 years or something crazy
Hmm.
like that. So, but anyway, go back
And
to your castle story about you climbing the castle. Do you know what the name of the castle was?
it was called Conwy in Wales.
Conwy.
Conwy Castle.
So you weren't just in Scotland. You did like a kind of like a UK thing where you're in Manchester, England, you're in Wales, and then you were in Scotland, right?
Hmm.
Did,
Yeah.
did you
Um,
did you get to go see any of like the they have these like beautiful like hills that are kind of like mountains of sorts, but they're I don't know. I guess they're mountains. They have like very beautiful like driving ways that you can like go down and it's like super awesome road tripping.
out in Scotland.
Yeah.
We did some exploring outside of the city. So I got to go on like a horseback riding adventure through the Highlands or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um, I don't know. It wasn't very like mountainous, the part that I was in. But I
Gotcha.
mean, it was just like a huge landscape and hills and
Yeah.
just, I don't know, fields
Yeah, how
for
far outside
forever.
of Edinburgh did you go? Or did you have to
Um,
like drive there, or did you take a train or a bus, or like
we
how did you navigate around the island?
we took a train there. So we also kind of split up our time in Scotland. Like half the time we were in Glasgow and half the time we were in Edinburgh,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
or Eden, however you say it.
Yeah.
So it was just me and like I think two other girls that went horseback riding. So we took like almost an hour train ride. I feel like it was an hour, but I have no idea which direction we went. I just hopped
Gotcha.
on and I was like, I hope we're going the right way.
Gotcha. Have you seen any of the Avengers films, particularly it's not Endgame, it's the one before Endgame that I can't think of the name. Yeah, don't know. It's one of the
I'm
last two Avengers ones.
I am blanking right now, but yes, I actually have. I just actually watched all of them like in chronological order and binged them, and now I'm blanking on the name of it.
Did you watch
But
it? Did you watch
yes,
Infinity Wars?
yes,
Yeah, Infinity Wars. It
yes.
was an Infinity War where you see New Asgard, and it's
Mhm.
where all the Asgardians live, and it's like this beautiful little like coastal town, and they come to get Thor. Actually, no, it wasn't in game because they came to get Thor, and that's when we first saw Fat Thor,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the
Let go
the
for.
whole the whole blip happened. The blip happened. Then we see Fat Thor. They come to get Fat Thor and New Asgard, and actually, where they filmed for New Asgard is in Scotland, and it's not too far from Edinburgh. And
Okay.
they still have the sign up that says New Asgard like at the place, and it's really cool.
Oh
I
man, now
can't
I
think.
want to go back.
I'm gonna have to look what the name of the town is. I actually have it saved on my Google Maps because I'm a nerd like that. Because I imagine
Yes.
that like whenever I want to go travel, that I'll most definitely go to see that place. So
Yes.
yeah, it's
Oh.
it's the only place that I've started in Scotland. So let's see. It is
I love
called
that.
Saint Abs.
St. Abs, which is
Yeah.
ironic because that's where Fat Thor lived.
Ha. Yeah. That wow. Actually,
Funny.
I never put that together. It's actually funny.
They definitely did not mean to do that, but that's what
Oh,
I just thought of.
for sure. That's great. But yeah. So tell me, did you have any culture shock when going over to England? Was there anything that you saw that was like real weird?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like as far as England being very westernized, it was compared to some other places that I've been, it's the most similar to America. But I think one thing that was weird was we were walking around, obviously in a group, people could tell that we're tourists and we have American accents, and they would all just like stare at us. They were like,
That's really
there are
funny.
Americans here. And we're like, oh gosh darn, we look like those stupid Americans who
You
don't know what we're doing.
you know what's funny about like when I travel? So when I travel, the opposite kind of happens to me. So I've been to Australia and Ireland, and I remember my buddy Alex and I we were on the city or in the city in Ireland, and this drunk couple comes up to us, and they like circled around the block like no less than 3 or 4 times or something like that, just trying to like find where they're going. And we were like sitting down, and they're like, they came over like, "Do you guys know where this place is?" And like, I don't think they were from Ireland because it sounded like they had more of a British accent or what.
Mm-hmm.
But they might have been Irish, and they're like, "Do you know where this is?" I'm like, "No, we're
No.
not from here," but we tried to give them directions as best we could. So
That's great.
yeah, and then in Australia, something similar happened like that, where someone was asking us like, "Hey, do you know how to get to this place?" We're like, not like, and when we spoke, they're like, "Oh, they're they're they're
You're
definitely not
American.
from here." Yeah, because of the accent. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have quite the opposite accent or experience. I don't know if you've noticed, but like with me, I've noticed like when I went to Ireland or I guess Australia for that matter, I feel like people's frames, like their frames like for their body, like smaller, like even men. Like when I was over there, I was like looking. Okay, this sounds weird. I was looking at guys, but I was just like, "Whoa, this is like they don't. None of them look similar to how I look. They don't have my frame. They don't have my build or anything like that."
Uh,
So did you notice that at all?
um, maybe not in the same sense, because I mean, I was definitely like when I was in um Europe and everything, I was like looking at all the girls and they were just like dressed to a T like the whole time. Like their style was on point. And I was like,
Really?
yeah, but it was like a different, like there was like, I don't know, some more like grunge kind of style looks.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
it was just always like on point though.
See.
Like it was on purpose grunge style. And I was like, they just
Yes.
have it together.
Yeah.
And I'm over
Okay.
here in a flannel walking around. I'm like, "Ugh, they obviously know I'm a stupid American.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I don't
Okay.
know.
That okay. That actually makes more sense. So like when I was over there, I felt like when I saw women walking around or like women that are my age, they were walking around and it felt like they wore a lot more makeup than they needed to. And like that like grunge style that you're saying, I concur. Like I
Mm-hmm.
believe that's true as well. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad. See, this is what I like about that. Like when I talk to people who've traveled, like you were in a similar region that I was in, and so you imagine there's some crossover in like the way they do things or the way they dress or the style and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. Like
Yeah.
for example, one of the things that I notice is like smoking is more socially acceptable than it is
Mm-hmm.
over here. Like on the last podcast that I just did, I was talking to my friend Kate, and she was saying, or no, I was saying to her, I had a layover in Germany before I was going to Iceland, and the on the layover I was there for like an hour or 2 hours or something like that, and what happened, like when I was walking around, I noticed that there was like this box that was closed off, and it was a smoker's box that you could go in, open the door,
Hmm.
and it was weird because it was sponsored by Camel, and it was like the Camel smokers booth inside the
Yeah,
actual airport.
that is strange.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like one of those at an airport that you've been to, like internationally?
No. But I guess maybe I just wasn't even paying attention to it because I didn't assume that would be a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've never seen one of those.
Yeah. Like back
Huh.
in the day, so like my mom's a smoker and I'm not. Like I hate it. I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
And there when I was a kid at the Denny or not Denny's at the IHOP in Terre Haute, whenever we'd go to the IHOP, even though we were more of a Denny's family, they actually had a like a glass room. So if you go in the IHOP and you like go straight to the back, and it's like the right corner of the restaurant, that that like little sectioned off part had its own ventilation, and that was it had a door, and
Hmm.
that was the smoker's room that you would like where you would eat and you could smoke.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a separate room.
Yeah.
I do remember like when we were younger, they would ask like smoking or non-smoking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now that's not even a thing. It's just you're not allowed to smoke
Yeah.
inside
There,
the restaurant.
yeah. There was
But
one hotel that I went to, I think fairly recently, and they actually allowed smoking. And like I can understand maybe like a motel would do that, but like this was a like a hotel, and they actually offered smoking. It was weird.
yeah, you just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then like a couple of years ago, I was coming back from Florida, and we stopped somewhere in like BFE, nowhere, Kentucky, and I looked inside the restaurant. There was like several people smoking inside the restaurant, and I was like, wait, that's still legal? I was like, this is like 2018, 2019. How is this still legal? And then I
Hmm.
was like, the people who I was with, I was like, look, I would starve before I would go in that restaurant and sit and eat in there and be subjected to that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't enjoy smoke or anything
yeah,
like that. My grandpa used to smoke all the time, and
yeah,
the smell of it, I'm still just like,
yeah,
I can't. I
yeah.
just can't do it.
You actually
So
think this is kind of surprising. I don't know if anyone has told you, but I found this out a couple of years ago that in the commons at ISU, you used to be able to smoke in the commons.
really,
Yeah, and from what
wait,
was
like how long ago?
like in the I think in the 90s, and then I think they stopped somewhere in the early 2000s or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And from what was told by me from people who went there in the 90s, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a little dog. So I'm like, I have the light that's coming from the window, and there's like a little dog that's come running by.
Yes.
Anyway.
Puppies are a good distraction.
Oh, for sure. If I could have a dog in here just in frame, just like, it would definitely give me more views on YouTube. Like, hey.
Yes.
Anyway, so apparently, like in the commons, though, when you were in there, it would be like so like hazy and like cloudy in there because it would just like stay and like kind of just
It just
wouldn't
lingers there.
yeah wouldn't really go anywhere. And I was like,
Oh,
I kept asking them, I was like, are you serious? That was actually like that was allowed? And they're like, yeah, it was very common. Yeah, we all did it. I was like, oh, all right, well, good on you then. So
just such a different time now.
oh, for sure. So was there any food in England that really stood out to you? Like, are you a big fan of fish and chips? Did you have a bunch of fish and chips while you were there?
Yes. I love fish and chips. I love potatoes. Like everything over there is very starchy. Like I feel like they
Mm-hmm.
don't put a whole lot of emphasis on their green vegetables besides peas. Like other
Okay.
than that, everything's very, I don't know, maybe it was just me and what I was ordering, but I felt like it was all like potatoes and
Mm-hmm.
like fried this.
You think it's a
We
lot
had a
of
lot
fried
of
stuff?
what?
You think it's a lot of fried stuff for sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Um, at least what I experienced, the places I went to, but a lot of that, and then I did try haggis when I was in
I
Scotland.
have no idea what that is. You're gonna have to
Wait,
explain
really?
that. No, I've never heard of that word in my entire life.
Okay, so haggis is basically sheep intestines. And it can be, I guess it can be like cooked and prepared a lot of different ways. I'm gonna try to see if I have a picture of it.
Ugh, yeah, that's no
Um,
bueno. Like I was told, like when I went to Iceland, apparently they're really big into seafood and shark and like different
we've had shark.
fishes. I've had shark too before. Like, have you ever been down to Panama City Beach?
No,
Really?
not no.
That's
I
like,
had shark when I was in Guatemala.
okay. I didn't know you went to Guatemala. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
been a lot of places,
Yeah,
but
like a lot of
anyway,
international places,
yeah.
just for
Well, yeah,
just a bunch of different reasons.
mainly just because I want to
Just
get
because
out
you
of the
wanted to go.
country.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I would. Good on you. That is awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so do you have a picture of? I don't even know
um,
what it's called.
yeah, so it's haggis. So we got it just as like a little appetizer because I'm like, I just want to try it. I know I'm not gonna like it. I just want to try it and see what it is.
Yeah.
So they had like, um, I'm just gonna, I guess, hold it up to my phone or to the computer. So
That
it's
works.
that part in the back. It's like ground up
Oh, it looks like a big
haggis,
meatball.
and then oh no, but
Oh,
yeah,
do you
then
not
there's
like
potatoes and
meatballs?
like something else. It was so my friend Camry was there with me and like we tried it together and she loved it. Like she thought it was great. But I just don't know. Yeah, so it was just basically like a ground beef at that point, but it had like just like hard little pieces in it. Then I felt like I was chewing it for forever and I just couldn't. Oh, I tried it and now I can say that I had it, but
Did you actually like?
I
Did you actually like digest it, or did you like swallow it and eat it, or did you just like taste
oh,
it?
yeah, no, I mean I ate it. I was like I had a whole fork full of it and I was like if I'm going to do it, like I'm going to like actually eat it. But
Gotcha.
I did not go back for seconds. And
Gotcha.
then I definitely ate all of the mashed potatoes. So,
So something that's comparable to that for Australia. Have you ever heard of Vegemite?
I have, but I haven't had it.
Oh my goodness. I I bought a little jar, and you can buy. I think you could buy it on Amazon, but it's rather expensive on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it was gonna smell or taste. And let's just say, like, I bought it and I opened it up, and the sheer smell of it alone,
It's awful.
it like there's
Oh
nothing to
no.
compare it to. Like, you know how you
Mm.
get like, oh, this tastes like chicken. Oh, that tastes like blah blah blah. Or it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, the smell repelled me so much, I didn't even try it.
Oh no.
And
That's when you know it's bad.
yeah, I brought it. I brought it back from Australia to the States, and I had it for a good year or two. I don't know how long it takes to expire, but I had
Mm.
it for a good while, and I was not. Yeah, I think I just had it just as like a little collector piece, just to say like, oh, I went there and I
That
bought it
happens.
and I brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I think if it came back to it again, I would try it, but like right now, like it just makes me a bit
Mm-mm.
queasy. But yeah, so that's cool. Um, so other than fish and chips, what would you say the best meal was that you had there? Like something that just stood out to you, or even like a awesome dessert. So like for me, I don't know if I've told you. I've probably talked about it on the podcast before. In Ireland, at the Blarney Castle, they had this place called the Blarn the wow, I forget the name. The Blarney Chocolate Factory. I know it's something chocolate factory, but I'm fairly certain it's the Blarney Chocolate Factory. Rest in
Mm.
peace, because they went out of business.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, literally the best chocolate I've ever had in my entire life. It was so good that I imported it from Ireland after I got back to the United States. And
Wow. That's dedication.
let me tell you, for what I got and for what I paid, definitely worth it in my eyes. But it was like I got a little amount of chocolate for like $100 or $115. Like most of it came from like the shipping fees, I think.
Yeah, trying to get it to you.
Yeah, it was crazy,
But
crazy good.
I did have, I'll show you a picture. We went to this one like dessert place. So I don't know if this is really like a Scotland thing, like
Yeah.
a staple, but anyway, there's this dessert shop and I got this incredible like
Ooh.
sundae.
What is that?
Like,
You got some biscuits in there. You got one of those like those chocolate
like,
sticks in there. I
like a
don't know.
waffle cone kind of cookie thing. I don't know. It was like Oreos and
Yeah.
chocolate and all sorts of
Yeah.
goodness all wrapped into one, and it was delicious.
Yeah, I have something that's very similar in there. When I went to New York City, I keep saying I talked about this and that on the previous podcast, but yeah, I went to New York City, and I had this Japanese ice cream, and it was really cool because it was a legit waffle. Like a waffle that you would get out of like a waffle iron. It wasn't like a crispy, like thin, like waffle cone.
Okay.
But it was in the shape of a fish, and it was so tasty. They put custard at the bottom of the fish, and the waffle was fresh and it was warm, straight off the press. And they put chocolate drizzle on top of it, and they put like one of those sticks that you were talking about in there. I'll go ahead and bring this up to the camera for you. Oh. Can you see that?
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I want some ice cream now.
Yeah. No joke. Since this has happened, like I've wanted ice cream so bad, like every single day. I mean, I always want it every single day, but even more so now.
Yes. But, just ice cream out of a carton's not going to compare to the amazing treats that you can get from shops like that.
Yeah, it's so sad because all those little ice cream shops, I'm sure you probably have your own spots in Indianapolis for like local ice cream place, right? Do you have, what would be a local place for you?
Oh, now I'm blanking on the name. There's a spot in Zionsville that serves Sherman's ice cream, and that is my favorite brand of ice cream. It's made in South Haven, Michigan, which is my favorite place in the world, probably.
What, South Haven, Michigan?
Yeah.
What's so special about that place?
I mean, I just grew up going there on like vacations and stuff.
Do you have like family there or anything?
My aunt used to own like a little cottage on the beach up there,
oh, that's
so we would
nice.
go there every summer. But
anyway, back to the ice cream.
Best ice cream ever.
Really?
Sherman's ice cream. So if you go to South Haven, Michigan, or Zionsville, Indiana, right downtown, Zionsville, it's the best ice cream.
Do they sell Sherman's ice cream in the store?
No.
Really? I feel like I've seen a Sherman's ice cream in the store. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Maybe. I don't know. At least not that I've seen. If they have, then I'm disappointed that I did not know that.
That's awesome. But, so is it like a soft serve ice cream, or is it by the scoop?
Yeah.
So it is soft serve?
They do. Well, I guess they do both. But my absolute favorite is called Blue Moon, and it's just, just blue ice cream. Yeah. But kind of has like a minty flavor. But they just do it the best.
See, I thought you meant blue. I'm pretty sure Blue Moon is like a brand of ice cream.
Well, it is too.
And you're talking,
Blue Moon, Blue Land,
I know,
Blue Bell,
Blue Bell, Blue Bunny. I don't know. Maybe Blue Moon's not. Maybe I'm just making that up.
I don't know. There's too many ice creams out there.
No, there's not enough. I tell you that. So is that place in Zionsville? Is it like still open right now for business?
I don't know. I haven't checked to see if they're like with all the restrictions and stuff, if they're open or not.
Yeah, because like the local ice cream places here, like, well, there's one in Greencastle called Dairy Castle, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Dairy Castle.
I've never been. I've heard it's great, but it's closed down right now.
Yeah. Dairy Castle's good. I've been there once before.
Yeah,
But
and then I think what's the place? I always forget the name. Uh, there was, it's like in the name of a TV show. It's they're always like, this is the place, Green Acres.
never
Yeah.
heard of it.
You never heard of Green Acres in Terre Haute?
Uh-uh.
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
think so.
it's it's up north. It's on the north side, so
Okay.
a lot of
I'll have to
people
check it out.
don't really go to the north side, especially if you're just here for college. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
anyway, so yeah, back to the ice cream. What flavor was that ice cream that you had in Scotland?
It was just like an Oreo fudge something. I don't know. It had like everything in it.
Sorry. I get so sidetracked. I get so excited. I went to Dairy Queen yesterday. Oh my goodness, they have their new summer flavors out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have.
What'd you get?
Well, yeah. All right, I got. Chill out. I got. I got. Jesus. I got Oreo cheesecake, and then they had this one called Wonder Woman Cookie Collision. I don't know what was in it. I just got it because it said cookie. I didn't have that one. I ended up having the Oreo one, and I gave the Cookie Collision one to my cousin.
Oh.
So, but they have like 5 new flavors that all look really good. They also brought back brownie dough.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but like their brownie dough is good, but like usually if they don't have that, I'll just ask them to just put just brownie pieces in it and then eat it like that. So like I don't like chocolate syrup in my ice cream, or I don't like chocolate flavored ice cream because it kind of makes me feel sick. And so I always need like a vanilla base ice cream, and then I kind of just get the brownies added to it, and it's just perfect.
Just perfect. So you don't like too much chocolate. It can't be too much.
I could
all the fudge and everything.
I don't think I could do the fudge. I think it's literally just like the chocolate syrup. But if it's chocolate toppings, like say you put like brownie piece in there, we'll say Reese's, Hershey's, or like I can do the chocolate extreme one, but not with the chocolate syrup.
Gotcha.
I think it's just the chocolate syrup. I don't know why. It's the same way with chocolate cake. I can't have like chocolate cake because it like makes me feel sick. It doesn't make me feel real sick, but like if someone gets me a chocolate cake for my birthday, I'm like, thank you, I really appreciate it, but I can't have it.
Would have preferred vanilla.
Yeah, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's like having an intolerance to gluten, but like it almost feels that way to me with like chocolate syrup and chocolate cake for some weird reason.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, tell me, do you have any pictures of landscapes in Scotland or Wales? So, I did my 23andMe, and it said I'm 66, like 2/3 of me comes from that area in the world or something like that, or it might even be higher than that. I know it was English and Irish, and it was kind of more around the Liverpool area / Wales area, I think is what it said.
Okay.
As well as I was like 15% French / German, and I'm like 0.04% Western Asian and African. And I think there's a little Italian. Yeah, there's like less than 5% Italian or something in me.
Just a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really want to take one of those tests. I want to know what all I am. Yeah,
you should. It's really cool. I took mine whenever there was like some discount that made it really good, because I did the one that was the DNA thing plus the like health thing.
Yeah, like family health history, whatever.
Yeah, and it would tell you things like stuff that you're like predestined or more likely to have, whether that was like diabetes or whatever it was. So
yeah, interesting. But here, I'll show you back on this if it'll pop up. There's one
Ooh, is that
picture.
sheep? That
Yeah,
is
so
an
those are
excellent
a bunch of
photo.
little sheep.
Wow.
Um, but
You know that
actually,
kind of
yeah,
reminds me of?
huh?
That kind of reminds me of the old Windows XP background where it's like wine fields.
Yes, it is a perfect like computer default background.
Did you ever use that as like your screensaver?
That one, that picture, no.
See, I feel like with me,
Didn't.
anytime I travel somewhere, like after I leave that place, it ends up being one of my like screensavers.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did after my Kenya trip. Everything went to Kenya pictures.
Yeah.
But um, there's another one from us when we went horseback riding.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was super cool because I've been like trail riding like in
Hmm.
Tennessee or something. So that's a cool experience. But this was awesome because it was like wide open fields and like you weren't supposed to really run or like trot or anything on your horse, but I kind of did anyway. And I was like, I feel so free right now. Like it was just such a cool experience.
I'm actually kind of
But
afraid of horses because they're so much larger than I am and they're so muscular and it's like I know they seem really sweet and like everyone rides them, but like I feel like I'm afraid to like fall off and get trampled to death.
I mean, they are dangerous. They could definitely kill you if they wanted to, but
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard of
I
stories
don't
of
know.
people dying from like horses trampling them and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
but
scary.
they're so sweet, and I mean I love horses and horseback riding and all that fun stuff. But
How often had you been horseback riding? Was that like your first time, or had you gone multiple times?
no, I've been a lot. So one of the camps that I would go to in the summer, like growing up, we went horseback riding like once a week. So I grew up knowing how to ride a horse, and I don't even know. I've done it so many times.
Gotcha.
There's a couple places here in like Brownsburg in the Indy area that I've been riding with, and like in Tennessee and stuff, I've gone a couple times. So
Yeah, yeah. I meant to
yeah,
ask
a lot of
you because it seemed like you had a fair amount of freedom on that school trip when you went. Like, did you went off on your own with what two other friends to go horseback riding?
yeah. Well, one of my professors did have to go with us for that trip. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just me and yeah, two other girls that went. Um, and
So
yeah, we had a lot of freedom to kind of do whatever we wanted.
yeah. So how many people were total on this trip? Was it like a very small number of people?
Yeah, I think there was like 10 students, and then
Oh,
there
okay.
were three faculty members. Um, but I think at that point, my professors just wanted to go because they wanted to go, not because we needed more chaperones or anything.
Oh, for sure. I would have
But
done the same thing.
mhm.
So did you fly directly to England or wherever?
We flew from um, Indy. No, did we fly from Indy? I don't remember if we flew from Indy or Chicago. Anyway, but we flew from there to Pennsylvania and then to Manchester,
Gotcha. That's cool.
and and then we took a train from Manchester to um, Glasgow.
Glasgow. Did you listen to like a lot of like British music when you were there, or like to try to get yourself like hyped up?
Um, I mean, I listened to a lot of Ed Sheeran anyway,
Ah,
and Sam Smith, but
love some Ed Sheeran. I didn't know Sam Smith was from there.
I don't know.
He just has a similar sound.
British something. I don't know.
Okay.
But when we were there, we spent a lot of our evenings going to different pubs, and one of our favorite ones in Manchester, they had like a open mic night, like
Did you go
kind
and
of music
sing?
night. They made us. Because they were like,
They
all
made
the
you.
Americans come do it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Were you
So
nervous? Did
I
they
was
have
so
a ukulele
nervous,
for
but
you?
no.
Ah,
There was a guy who was doing it that had his guitar.
gotcha,
So he was like, here, pick a song.
gotcha.
And I was like, this is so on the spot. So I sang an Adele song. And I was like,
Hello,
Oh my
It's
gosh.
me. Who
But
you been
that
looking
was
for?
that was
Sorry.
so fun. So yeah, we made a couple friends with them and hung out with them as many nights as we could. Um, Drank beer and sang songs, and
Nice.
there's a lot of very talented people in random pubs in
Really?
the middle of England. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was pretty sweet.
I'm surprised you
Um,
didn't go to like London.
so they had went to London for that same trip the year before us, and they said that it was just very, very chaotic. And also when we were there was the same time as the royal wedding, like Megan
You
and
were there during that time?
yeah.
Uh,
So it
you
was like
gotta talk
right,
about that. You gotta
like,
talk about that.
but like nothing was like really happening because we were like outside of like the main cities where it was happening. But I mean, I don't know. Everybody was there were like American flags everywhere because Megan is
Oh
American.
yeah, I forgot.
Um, and everyone just seemed really happy. But the day of the actual wedding was when we were in Conwy, Wales, when we were at the castle, and there were so many people outside, um, like just celebrating, and everybody was like drinking and having fun, and they had music playing, and like everybody was just super happy because there was a royal
Yeah.
wedding happening somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Do you wish you were like kind of at the like when they were on the carriage? Do you kind of wish you were like on that pathway? Like, do you wish you could have saw it or what?
I think it would have been really cool to see it because like I was there, so
Yeah.
why not? Take advantage of it. But
I mean, it's literally a once in a lifetime opportunity because it's not like they can get married again.
yeah. But unfortunately, we did not go and see it. I think it just probably would have been a little too much of a liability for a school trip trying to get us all wrangled up in such a crowded, unorganized area, probably. But
That's a
so,
really that's a really interesting dynamic to a trip because it's like you that the trip for you guys was probably planned in a fair amount in advance the night
mm-hmm.
than possibly the wedding. I don't know, obviously for sure, but it's like
Yeah.
you have these unforeseen like events that like people like. I was talking to some people the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, we went to this resort and we stayed in Florida, and it turned out like they didn't know it, but it just happened to be at the same time of like some college football team or some NFL team, and they're like staying in the hotel or something like that, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like you just never know like stuff with that. So when I went to
Yeah.
when I went to Tampa Bay, they had a college football bowl game down there, and I knew they had some bowl games down there in Tampa, but I didn't know when they were, or it was just not on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
And so we checked in our place, slept overnight, went out to the beach the next day. And the next day, like I heard some loud music kind of off in the distance down further on the beach. So my buddy Sam Grant and myself, we end up just walking down the beach, and there's a bunch of players from Florida International University and I think Temple. Temple is a university in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like this bounce house going on. They had like a little concert going on, and they had like a bunch of different things going on. I was like, well, we
Dang.
didn't know this was happening. That's cool. So we just kind of hung out and did that. So that's really neat.
Yeah. I like unexpected events when you don't know. It
For
makes it
sure.
more fun.
For sure.
But
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about for your trip to the UK?
oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a really cool trip. We did so many things. Oh no, I am gonna share this because I'm a really big Harry Potter fan.
Oh, great. All right, here we go.
Um, so are you a Harry Potter fan?
I mean, I don't have anything
Maybe.
against that, but like
Okay.
I do really enjoy it. Like if the movies are on, I'm definitely gonna watch it. And I want to go to Hogwarts World or Harry Potter World in Universal Studios. I just haven't gotten the chance to. So yeah, I do. I enjoy it a lot. There's nothing to hate about it for sure.
Yes. Okay, well, good. But yeah, so I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. I actually have worked at Harry Potter World in Universal Studios.
Are you
But when we
kidding
were,
me? Are you
Yeah.
are you kidding me? You okay?
But that's another
The
story.
moment that I think that there's nothing like more interesting about you, you come back with, oh yeah, I worked at Harry Potter World. Like, oh, that's cool.
I mean, yeah. It was a summer program thing that I did during college. But Glasgow University was what J.K. Rowling kind of modeled Hogwarts after. So we were able to go there, and it was, oh my gosh, I was like living like a fairy tale. This is my version of a fairy tale, is Harry Potter, not
You're so
like
funny.
Cinderella's castle. But so that's one of
Oh yeah,
the
I definitely see
halls.
that.
And then, let me see. That's a bad picture of it.
Do you have like a picture from like that the front of that tower up there?
Oh gosh.
No worries. I can just fill the dead air with
Just
me chatting.
Google. Now I'm just like reminiscing on all my photos. There's like another one.
Yep, I definitely see it.
Yes. But it was so cool, and I was like, I feel like a Hogwarts student right now.
Oh, that looks kind of like
Like,
the dining room.
yes, like walking down.
What was that room used for? Is it just empty for what?
Um, so it was just open on both sides to like these two courtyards, and then it was just like a connecting hallway, I guess, between two of the buildings. And so they just tricked it out with all these arches and columns and made it look super cool.
Wow. Could you
Uh,
imagine if you had like a Harry Potter themed dinner in there?
I would love that.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
would love that. That'd be so fun. Um, but then I also got to visit, so kind of a nerd moment of Harry Potter. So J.K. Rowling wrote a lot of the books in this coffee shop called the Elephant House, which is in
What?
Edinburgh. So I got to go there. So that's me in
That's
front of
awesome. Oh my gosh, look at you.
the Elephant House. Um,
That's so
okay, yeah. So
funny.
I just had to share that because I'm such a Harry Potter nerd, and
That's so
that was like
cool.
the highlight of my whole trip.
That's great.
Were
Yeah,
those two things.
everything what you just told me, I had no idea that was a real thing. It didn't even pass my mind. I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of authors, they base a lot of their fiction work off of real life things or events, or like they model different things off certain things. So yeah, but that's super cool.
But
Well, if that's all you gotta say for the podcast, do you want to do the outro song, that being "Over the Rainbow"?
yeah, let's
Awesome.
do it.
I will go ahead and set this up again. So you go ahead and get ready, and I'll let you know when
Okay.
I'm ready, and you go ahead and let me know when you're ready. Sound good?
Sounds
All
good.
right. So this is. It's funny because you can still see me, but like like when this goes up on YouTube, the people aren't going to be able to see me.
To see you.
Yeah, because you're like widescreen. This
Gosh darn.
is "Over the Rainbow" by Israel. Has every letter in the alphabet in his last name, so I don't know how
Yes.
to say it. So yeah, and this is Jessica's rendition of it. So
Feel
enjoy.
free to sing along.
I I might. Well, I'll go for
Okay.
it. All
We'll see how it goes.
right, sounds good.
Alrighty. So in the
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That was
Somewhere
awesome.
over the rainbow.
I tried to sing along, but you actually know a different version than I do. So I was like, I didn't want to mess you up.
His version that he sings is here. I'm gonna plug my headphones back in. Yeah, so that was like kind of his Israel, however you say his last name, his version. But he sings the words differently every time I've watched it, or like there's a couple videos that I've seen of him, and I was trying to like look up what the words were, and they were different every time I looked it up. So I just took like the chords and stuff that he uses and put it to the actual words from like the OG Judy Garland song.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. I thought it was
But
just his song.
no, it's from Wizard of Oz.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So took a
probably.
couple different versions.
Probably most people didn't hear what I just said because I had my my volume slider on my mic turned down, but I turned it back up. But could you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Well, I just had it down a little bit, but you could probably hear me in the background of that, even though it probably wasn't any good. I was like trying to sing along, but I was like, oh, it's not the way I know it. So.
Oh man.
All right. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
coming on the podcast, Jessica. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say? Anything inspirational? Just something that makes me want to run straight through a wall.
The sky is blue on the other side of the rainbow.
That was amazing. Let's
There you
go.
Follow me on Instagram.
Jessica Van Liew.
Yep, Jessica_Van Liew.
There we go. All right,
There
people.
you go.
Thank you for coming on the show, Jessica. That was your Full Chat podcast for today. Follow Full Chat Podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Full Chat Podcast. Follow me, your host, Eric Roberts, at _Eric Roberts. Hope you enjoyed the very first legit video podcast that I have a guest on. So cool. So thankful for you. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one, guys.